welcome back to Rod Reacts. Rod Reacts everything in India. Are you having a good day, a positive day? I hope you are. Let me know who you are and where you're from down below in the comment section if you're new to the channel. For now, we're going to react to the top 10 inspiring moments of Jalikattu. Protest. Hopefully I said that correctly or close to protect. And I'm pretty sure I learned about that in another video. Has something to do with releasing bulls and trying to grab the horns. And I'm just curious of why are they protesting? Are they protesting for it or against it? I don't know, because I didn't know about this protest. Apparently this happened several years ago. So let's check out, let's see what these inspiring moments are. Let's see if we can learn from them. I'm always looking to learn. You should be learning with everything you do in life. Every day you should learn something. And we all do, even if we don't know it or not, we do. So let's inspire to learn. Let's see what we can learn from this.
A small student protest sparked off a worldwide movement.
That does not look like a small student protest. It looks like a really, really big. That's a lot of students, but there's a lot of people in India, right? I live in a smaller town. There's only about 70,000 people that live in my town, or probably less. So it's real small compared to cities and big towns and whatnot in India.
For 4 days in a row now, students from all over Tamil Nadu and Tamilians across the world are protesting against PETA and the ban on Jalikattu. They have gathered at various public places in their cities and are raising their voices against the ban. Irrespective of the sun shining down ruthlessly or the nights turning cold and windy.
Well, you know, it may be kind of dangerous to grab a bull's horn, but it's part of the culture. Why are we stomping out culture? If these people want to do it, let them do it. It's part of their culture. It's important to them. Kind of like the Tamil language. It's important to them. Well, things like this is important to them. In other cultures, there's stuff that's important to them. So why do we always got to get rid of the old and in with the new? Because we learn so much through the old. That's how we learn. We learn from the past. We learn from the present. We don't really learn from the future because we're not there yet. You know what I mean?
Protesters have stayed on, showing their grit and determination. Today, Simply Chuma is listing out the top 10 inspiring and goosebump moments of the Jalikattu movement.
Jalikattu.
Number 10. No crime reported. Thousands have gathered at public places across the state, but so far, not a case of chain snatching or pickpocketing has been reported.
You know, sometimes there's more important things than even the things that you're used to. Maybe you're a criminal and you do those type of things, but then you're like, man, this is more important to me. So no crime, that's cool. 9.
Respect for religion. The protesters, who have been shouting slogans continuously, turned silent and respectful when their Muslim brothers did their namaz. Number 8. Faith in humanity restored. Despite demonetization and cash crunch, many people have come forward to extend their support in whatever form they can. While some
absolutely, a come togetherness, and it's cool. Respect each other's religion. As long as their religion's not out there hurting people, you know. There's been like cults out in the world that's hurt people, you know. But as long as the religion's not hurting people, respect it, and to come together as a people to support something that should be important. Because if they take something from your culture, what's to say they're not going to take something from what you believe, even though you know the people that you're supporting now don't believe what you believe? They're not going to stop. Kind of like taking rights away. In the United States right now, they like to take rights away. People are blind to it, but they're actually doing that.
Some are serving hot food, tea and water. Others are supplying caps, blankets and hand fans to the protesters who have been sleeping on the beach and the roads. Cool. Seeing the increasing number of women and children joining the protest, people in the neighboring areas have announced that anyone is welcome into their home to use the restrooms.
That's awesome.
Number 7. Say no to political, cinema and media support. Initially, most of the political leaders and the ruling party refused to interfere as the ban involved the Supreme Court orders.
So who's banning this? if they're saying like media and some of the government officials weren't stepping in, who like, is there a higher power in India? Like, I'm ignorant to the political climate of India. I don't know much about it. It's like, who's banning it, or who's trying to ban
many
it?
actors from the Tamil film industry, who are also members of the NGO PETA, supported the ban on the spot.
Okay.
But on realizing that this ban has literally brought the state to a standstill,
Wow.
they have come forward extending their support.
It sounds like they're only trying to people please, though. If they supported the ban, and then they realize there's these millions of people that are against the ban, and then they change their mind, like, oh, well, you know, I don't support the ban. You're like, that's not being sincere. So should we really support these people that was supporting the ban? I don't think so. I don't think it was a change of heart, but I guess I'm judging, right? But to me, I feel like these actors and actresses and whoever these people are, it's not sincere. And if you're not sincere, I don't have time for you, right? That's the way I feel. I don't know, you might feel a different way.
But the students have outright refused them. They sent the politicians back.
Wow.
Inadequate media coverage and misinterpretation of facts by the news channels has not discouraged them. They have also turned against their favorite actors who refuse to stand by what is right.
As you should.
Number 6, women power. When we say students, we don't mean just the boys and men.
Women power,
Equal
baby.
number of girls and women are a part of this movement. What is to be appreciated is that despite the crowd being huge, there has not been a single incident of eve teasing or harassment. In fact,
I don't know how it is in India, but anywhere in the world, women should be equal to men. It's just the way. It's the way I believe. It's the way I think. We're born the same way. We die the same way. Without a woman, there is no man. Without a man, there's no woman. It takes both of you to keep reproducing. Women are just as important. There's not one above the other.
many of these boys have turned protectors for the women supporters. The girls have also spent cold nights on the roads. Number 5, a mass movement without a leader.
Now that's
A
awesome.
mass movement, but no leader. It is not a killing sport. It is our culture,
Right.
our tradition.
Right.
We are not against the Supreme Court. We are fighting to safeguard our dwindling native breeds.
Right.
We are raising our voice for our
Earthquake.
farmers. Ban PETA. We want Jalikattu. These are not the words of a single person. This is not the quote of a leader. This is what lakhs of students gathered at different places in Tamil Nadu have to say. For the first time in Tamil history, a movement has begun. A movement that was not started by any one particular leader or politician. It is the combined effort of the student community. Number 4, student power to the fore.
Yes.
What started out as a social media campaign today has grown by leaps and bounds. When the central government refused to lift the ban on Jallikattu, a handful of students decided to start a silent protest.
Exploded.
These few inspired thousands who in turn started their protest at the Marina Beach in Chennai and other important cities in Tamil Nadu. These students have been protesting for 4 days consecutively. Some have been raising slogans, some showing banners, while some have been fasting and will continue to do so until the ban is lifted. Number 3, People's Movement. This student movement has become a people's movement. Right from pregnant women, newborn babies, toddlers, small children, school and college students, office goers and senior citizens. People of Tamil Nadu, caste, religion, status, no bar, have been pouring in great numbers to these protests and are extending their support to the students. In
The thing of it is, a divided people is a weak people. When you come together, you're much stronger. Kind of like you got two little like pillars, you know. You know, they're strong, but they're kind of weak too. But you put them together, they're much stronger, right? Same goes for people. And unfortunately, you know, like here in the United States, politicians like to bring subjects up to divide the people. They're always trying to divide us. If you look at the Western media, For instance, like last year during our election, all it was division. Divide, 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 divide. Blowing up problems that's not really problems. Magnify them. You know, that's what politics do. A divided people is a weak people. So I like to see people come together for a great cause. You know, it's a great cause. Keep your culture. Keep your tradition. You know, if the politicians or whoever's trying to ban it don't want it, then they don't have to join it, right? You know? The thing is, they take one thing from you, then they're going to take two things from you. If they can take two things from you, then three things from you. And before you know, it's just not you anymore, right?
Fired by them, factories, IT companies, private sector, businessmen and traders have now joined this movement. Currently, in Chennai, all roads lead to Marina. Number 2, non-violent protest.
That's good.
This Jalikattu movement has gained national prominence, not just because of the growing number of participants, but because of the dignified manner in which the protest has been taking place.
Kind of like here in the United States last year, you know, with the BLM stuff, Black Lives Matter stuff. You know what? That's not how Martin Luther King did it. I'm sure some of you heard of Martin Luther King, or a lot of you have, you know. He was an activist, you know, for the rights of black people back in, I don't know, 50s, 60s, I think. 50s, 60s, somewhere like that. And he did it peacefully, and he made progress. This crap they had last year here in the United States, where they were looting, burning, being violent, that's nonsense. They don't change anything. That makes it worse. So I love seeing that this movement here in India was peaceful. It's good to hear. It's good to hear. I'm just curious of, did they lift the ban? Because it really hasn't said it, and I'm not real sure about that.
Peaceful and non-violent. There has been no damage to property, public or otherwise. So as not to trouble the travelers, students are themselves regulating the traffic. They have also been environmentally conscious by not littering the place. Many groups of student volunteers have been simultaneously conducting drives.
That's awesome.
To clean up after the lakhs who are at the spot. A Herculean task, but undertaken happily. Number 1, police-public understanding. At the Marina in Chennai, on the first night of the protest, in an effort to send them back home, the Tamil Nadu police switched off all the street lights and lamps
It didn't
at
work.
the beach.
Didn't work, did
But
it?
the beach looked like the stars were shining on the earth and not the sky.
Right.
Every single student had his mobile torch on. Candles were lit and the protest continued.
That's beautiful.
It was a sight to behold.
That's beautiful.
Students, understanding that the police are only following orders, extended a friendly hand to them. They shared the food and water that has been supplied to them. This selfless act has in turn encouraged a few policemen to come forward and support them openly,
Wow.
despite their jobs and uniforms being a deterrent. We strongly support this movement because Jallikattu is a part of our tradition
Right.
and does not hurt animals, unlike Peter's claims.
Right.
We urge you to understand the facts behind the sport and come forward in support in whatever way you can. This is truly one of the greatest social movements of recent times.
So it was PETA that came after him. I'm just wondering who was trying to ban it. You know, PETA is a big organization, right? And they do things that hurt animals. I'm sure they got big jets and this and that, and surely they, you know, people that are in the PETA organization, you know, they probably eat meat and this and that hurts animals. So they want their cake and eat it too, and they just wanted to be power hungry. But it's cool that there's these inspiring moments, especially for the Tamil people, you know, down south, and they did it in a nice, safe way and a together way, and hopefully there was lessons to be learned. And I'm not sure if it's banned or not. Do you guys still get to do the Jalikattu or not? Hopefully I said that right. Anyway, let me know down below, and I'll see you next time. Peace.